Alright, so this is one of my last videos of this firearm here. It's the JXP and 10 mil by High Point. I have a couple of videos, range videos that I have out there shooting it, and it's just it's a different type of gun. So I probably said all I needed to say in the videos, but inside the gun range with all the noise, I don't know if you can hear everything that I'm speaking about. So I just decided to do like a quick tabletop about it and just kind of tell you all the things that I noticed, what I feel about it, and everything. First things first. Well, you know what? Anyway, just pull it back. It's cool. So one crazy thing is that get in there. One thing is that you can't lock the slide back without having a magazine in there, then lock it back. It doesn't have a slide release, and once you take the magazine out, it's dead. So you can't pull the trigger. So the magazine's got to be in if you want to lock it back to the rear, and then you can drop it. No slide release. So you basically got to slingshot it back. You just gotta, So it's a lot. I had in one of my videos, I was like, I never had a pistol that I really loved, that I fell in love with. I'm like, this is the one. And I really never had a pistol that I really hated. Really just didn't, I disliked. And the only time I really would dislike a firearm, biggest thing is either malfunctions, jams, not working, or it's just all over the place. Like, it's just, you just can't hit a broadside of a barn, right? But this is a new one, right? This is one that is just a lot of things. It's definitely a different breed, is in its own category. I call this the High Point Asaurus. I don't know, this little fly likes enjoying this gun too. Maybe he's a gun enthusiast. But in the garage, so they come in and out, I guess. But yeah, it's old. And not old meaning like it's like the oldest gun out there. I'm talking about it hasn't evolved into anything else. Yes, it may have evolved in different calibers, but like it hasn't done anything with the trigger, the slide, the thickness. Still has a 10-round capacity. Nothing has changed on these firearms, and to me it's just kind of like, why? And I guess you could say if it works, if it's not broke, don't fix it, but they still have their issues, right? Just like many firearms out there, companies. It has no external safety, so therefore, trigger safety. So they have internal safety. So therefore, that's why it locks up. I think Ruger has this too, and I don't know. It's the safety they have. I think it's terrible. I took it to the range. I let one of the guys behind the counter look at it, and he'd never seen it before in the 10 mil. And he was like, my gosh. And he was trying to lock the slide back. This guy he's in the military. He's shot in bukus of rounds. He was fumbling, trying to figure out like how to lock the slide back. And then he takes the magazine out and he tries to pull the trigger, and, after clearing the weapon, and like, why won't it pull out? I was like, you got to have the magazine in. And he was like, oh my gosh. He's in the 10 mil. This is crazy. It's like you can hit somebody across the head with it because it's so heavy, so bulky. It's one of those things. So it's like, I don't know. Like, the reason I purchased it, because it was one of those things where, when it came out, it was like a hot thing. It was just like something new, 10 mil High Point. The grip looked good and everything, the design. and everybody just jumped on it. You know, threaded barrel. So it's like one of those things. Like it's just stupid, right? Let's just get it, just buy it, right? You know, then I look at, you know, Nothing Fancy. That's another channel that I watch. He always talks about philosophy of use. You know, like, what are you going to do with it? And really, for me, it wasn't really nothing I was going to do with it. It was like, it's under $200. It's a pistol, 10 mil, have fun, right? You know, it's nothing I was going to, like, no truck gun, no fishing tackle box. I don't think this will be able to fit in the tackle box. I mean, but just super thick grips. The borax of this thing is, look how high that sits, that slide. I mean, and if you see my videos at the range, you know, trying to shoot fast or whatever, like this thing is, I mean, all this weight on that slide just throws back and you can't control it. I mean, you know, maybe if you got bigger, larger hands, if you're a bigger guy or a woman, you can control it, but the shooting was bad. Like I said, the slide rides takes up the whole frame, so you only got this small piece to really, if you rest your thumb, to shoot it, you know. And it is just crazy. Like I said, the serration's up top here because it kind of goes at an angle. You really can't get a good grip on that up top because you slide, you know, it slips. But you only get right here on the side. That's the only really part is really that you can really grip and have a good hold on to really pull it back. But it's kind of still slippery. The coating on this slide, as soon as your hand gets a little moist, it just gets slippery. The trigger actually isn't bad. It's a stiff trigger. And then let me see if I can charge it back real quick. And then drop this, then we do that, then we do this, and then we back. So yeah, so the trigger, you know, there's really no take up. That's just, you know, before it hits the little wall, but it's right there, and then like really no creeping. It just breaks. It, like I said, it feels like it's like over 6 pounds. I'm sure there's other videos out there that's like, oh yes, whatever, you know. I don't have like a gauge to, you know, check the trigger weight, a poundage on it, but like you said, it's definitely stiff, but then it breaks clean. Like the trigger doesn't bother me. I don't like it that the ejection is like just on the side. It's more like a carbine, how it ejects from the side. But if you're not careful, you know, and you're shooting like this, that, you know, don't have your fingers up here, because then you can cause a jam or malfunction. So that didn't really bother me. Like I said, my biggest thing is look at my knuckle right here, like here and here. This has been like over a week now probably, and I still have the scars because right here in the corner is just real pointy and sharp, so it just cuts into it, especially when the gun recoils in your hand. So like I said, it has a safety, which I would probably never use. It's kind of, I don't know, just kind of cheap feeling. So I mean, it has a pick rail, full pick rail or whatever. It has a threaded barrel. So I'm gonna do one more video of this Titanic of a gun. I'm gonna buy a compensator. I don't know if it's gonna cycle with it, or it might help it cycle, right? It's a blowback design, so I don't know. You know, the grips, the panels and stuff, like they say, like sandpaper, so they feel nice in the hand. It's pretty thick. It's like it's thicker than 1911. I mean, I would say. The only thing I like, 10-round magazine, right? So you pay under $200 for this pistol to get one 10-round magazine. Then to turn around and have to then, oh, I want to get another magazine because I'm having fun. Okay, we'll go buy a magazine. Well, how much is it? $20, $22. Then you got to pay for shipping and tax. The next thing, you're getting up there. And I'm like, but I paid under $200 for the gun. Now I got to pay like $30, close to $30 for a magazine after everything. Unless you can go to a local gun shop, where I can probably guarantee you most local gun shops won't be carrying any aftermarket magazine for a high point, especially in the 10 mil, but probably for any high point, I'm sure. Yeah, this is what it is. I mean, I'm gonna go one more time. I still have malfunctions on both of the videos that I had shooting 10 mil. I gotta try to remedy that problem. If it's me limp wristing, if it's if I gotta it's almost like you almost gotta learn all over again with this pistol. It's a different way to shoot everything, right? So this is not something that I feel that it's not just all the gun. I think it's the shooter, because it's almost like learning a whole totally different platform, because of the gun and how awkward it is. Like it's a high point. Obviously they stay there in the market. They still making firearms. I think it's cool that they're coming out with different calibers and carbines and pistols. I think it's awesome. I just think, this high point of Thors will eventually slim down. Like, you're giving me little designs, and you're giving me all this, but functionality, I need a little more of that. The trigger to me, the trigger's fine. I don't have any problem with the trigger, but this bulky, tall, thick, I'm not going to beat it up because I pay for this, so I'm not breaking my gun, but it's a lot. It feels good in the hand. The trigger's fine. It's just that slide. When that slide goes back, it's like a pause for that's what it feels like. And just all that weight just throws back and hits you. And I had almost like a trigger lock, if you see my video, where I didn't let the slide go all the way back in the battery, and I didn't let the trigger reset after it goes back in the battery. And I was pulling the trigger, next it was like, oh crap. So I had to let go of the trigger, let it reset, then shoot it. This reset goes all the way back to the front every shot. And I was kind of shooting so fast, and I was kind of keeping pressure on the trigger, and I wasn't allowing it to reset all the way. And the slide, I don't think the slide closed all the way yet, with in complete battery, and I was trying to pull the trigger again. So you have that issue, and I'm like, so it's definitely feels like it's just a whole new learning curve shooting this high point. And I think that would be probably my main issue with this, is that, okay, it's not like grabbing a Smith & Wesson and grabbing a SIG and grabbing a Glock and grabbing a Ruger and you can just grab and go, right? This is like, wow, okay, this is something totally different. But I would love it to see in the future for them to, start to slim down. Or some company. I think High Point makes enough money that per year, that why wouldn't a company come and say, you know what, which I know you got Pro Mag that has theirs, but a company that would come and make real nice magazines, like double stacks, go from single stack and then they go down to a double stack. They do that with drums, with 1911 drums. It's like a 1911 magazine, and then it's connected to a drum. Do double stack or quad stack. I don't know, just something. I would think a company would make money, bringing something in to the industry like that. I mean, you have different options out there, but it's not a lot. So, like I said, philosophy for use, I wouldn't say home defense. I wouldn't say anything except for range toy. I'm not saying that you can't use it for home defense. I'm not telling you that it doesn't work in cycle, because it does. My videos don't really show consistency of that, but I know they can be used and they have been used for self-defense. But for me, there's a lot of other firearms out there that are much better for that. But this for me would just be something like a range toy, really just showing somebody else, look at this big old gun. They're like, what the heck? Like I said, I have other 10 mils that I will compare this to when I actually do a video of those, and just show you the difference. And I may pull that out, High Point out one more time to compare the two, but there's really no comparison. You can't compare this High Point to nothing, nothing. This is what it is. So like I said, I'm gonna do one more video I'll have at the range. I'll get a compensator, we'll take it to the range, we'll shoot it, and then I'm gonna put her to Betty by, because I'm done. It's and like I said, I wear a glove. One of my second video, I just started to wear a glove. It's more comfortable, and that's what I did. But yeah, look at it, it's just bulky. Back here is slippery, This is plastic, even though it has the grooves right here. Once it gets moisture, you're losing your grip. This right here is pretty decent over here with the kind of like the sandpaper feel. Safety, like I said, I'm not using that. The trigger's pretty good. The mag release works. Sometimes it releases pretty simple. If I just go straight down, it'll release. Sometimes it won't. Drop free. So other than that, yeah, slide release. No. Big bulky firearm. It has adjustable sights, or a rear sight for windage and elevation, which I think sight picture is pretty nice. I haven't adjusted that yet. But other than that, that's all I can tell you. This is my only tabletop talking about the same thing I probably talked about in my gun videos. I just hope that High Point will start to slim these down, and I don't know, and get out the ice age with these big, huge, bulky guns. You're giving us something good, like you're there, but it's like, you gotta change up. It's been a while. Like, come on, like give us. You're giving us different calibers, which is cool, but it gets hot for a minute and it drops off because it's just like, just something to talk about for a quick second. But then it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna use it for nothing. It's just something to talk about. Hey, look at this. They came out with another caliber. Then this next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, we're done with that. Move on to the next thing. But other gun companies, like I would say more legit gun companies that are you can use for different situations, like they're coming out with things that that actually can help you with your with the recoil, with your sight picture, or slimline, or small, or whatever it may be, concealability. And I know this is a totally different category. It's not comparable to those, but I like to see this starting to change up a little bit, right? I think they're doing a great job. I'm not knocking High Point because I have one, but no. Other than that, that's all I can think of. If you have any questions or whatever, put them in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because I'm, like I said, constantly pumping out these videos, so alert you when I'm throwing another one up there. So, but thanks for watching, and like I said, continue to throw more out here for you. Thank you.